Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Let's adjust this camera. It's not quite where it needs to be. So what happens when I stream with friends is that everything gets moved around, not in a bad way, but I just got to make sure that I have room for friends. But thank you, everyone, for coming in today. We got some lo-fi beats today because it's Sunday morning. Why should I do something extreme? It's Sunday morning. Today's supposed to be chill. But last night was fun. For those of you who were here, we loved having you. And for those who weren't, we played Lego Harry Potter on the Nintendo Switch. We played with Punkin Yunkin, my girlfriend, as well as a celebrity of the channel, I guess you could say. She's got her own emote. She's pretty swell. But we played through the second half of year 2 and then started year 3. We are almost done with... Good morning, Cora. How are we today? Welcome in. But we got pretty far in year 3 and decided to call it good for the time being because we were getting pretty tired. But she will be back for more of those exciting streams. How are you today, Cora? I hope you are doing well. Thank you again for following my my friend, your good friend, with 2 Ds. They're a fantastic streamer, just starting out, really has a knack for the process, and actually, it's got a couple clips. So let's see if I can do a quick little shout out for them. And I really hope the one that I saw when I tuned in the other night, I hope this is the one that pulls up. But oh, that sounds great. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Let's see what clip shows up. Maybe. Who knows if it's gonna work? Doesn't look like it is. Oh well. But again, go definitely check them out. Fantastic, good people. And definitely recommend giving them a follow if you have the opportunity. My little chat thing is not working, but it's not a huge deal because once I get into actually coding and stuff, it's not on the screen while I do things. So I'll just enjoy hanging out with y'all right now. Today, I mentioned it before, but today what we're going to try to do in a basic sense is connect the Encounter Plus software that I use for Dungeons and Dragons. Try to connect that with my d20 back here. And in a more broad sense, I'm going to try to convert the WebSocket messages that I get from that software, which is the communication between the software on my end out to the map that people can look at and interact with online as players, intercept those messages and try to grab specific messages. Look through the plethora of messages that send by on a regular basis and find specific things. In particular, the ones we're looking for today are natural 1s and natural 20s on a d20 roll. If we can find those, my hope is that on natural 1s that I can make this light as well as the other lights maybe go dark, so that way it gets a little moody because something bad has happened. And if it's a d20, the hope is that maybe I can do some sort of strobe flash with white, that sort of thing. Something basic. I'm going to set up the stream or set up the lighting side of it after I kind of have things up and running from the WebSocket side. But we're just going to be working in VS Code today. We're building first ever roll. Being a nat 20 is still a great accomplishment. That was pretty incredible. I think that entire game went incredibly well. Once we started rolling and actually going, There was a certain sense of like boss ass Dungeons and Dragons playing. Y'all killed it, and very, very excited and happy to see where D&D goes from here on the stream. But yeah, we're going to be working in VS Code. We're also going to be building this in JavaScript. I got a couple packages and things that need to get installed right off the bat, just so that way we know what we're doing and we have all the appropriate tools. A couple of them I might have to find because I can't remember what they're how to install them via npm purely based on name. So I might have to go searching for that sort of thing. But regardless, I am going to try my best to make this thing happen. I've been doing some tweaks. Some of you may know, doing some tweaks with my microphone setup. It used to be hanging from up here, and it would just be like in the shot the whole time. And it wasn't a huge deal because I have my my sticker on it that you can see, so it wasn't a big deal. It was kind of advertising, so it was nice. But I wanted to kind of get it out of the way because it was starting to impede my vision of the screen. So I brought it down so that way I can see the whole screen, all the screens. I still have to lean around and stuff to push buttons to switch things, but please let me know as I go, as I'm building this up a little bit better and stronger, if there's any adjustments that you see, if the tone is too low or it gets way too loud when I get excited, those sort of things, definitely let me know. But yeah, another thing that I want to start doing on my Sunday streams is just again starting out in the morning with just the just chatting side of things. Like we might be playing some games, we might be coding, but I wanted to start out just doing some chatting, just having a conversation with you all, because Sunday mornings are kind of me time. Chandler's sleeping, Pumpkin's sleeping. We're just having a time in the morning to kind of get ourselves ready for what's coming next week. If we're being completely honest, it's a way for me to ease the Sunday scaries. And for those who don't know what Sunday scaries are, it's the sense of, I work tomorrow. Life goes back to operation tomorrow. I don't want it to. Even though I love my job, I enjoy what I do, and next week is going to be exciting. It's going to be a little stressful, but it'll be exciting for me. That's what Sunday mornings are for me. It's just a way for me to ease that. It's still going to happen, but I want to ease it a little bit. And one of the ways I want to do it is just have this nice conversation here in the morning. I know that Goats was out there. I'm not sure if he's lurking or what, but Cora's here, and whoever else shows up, just having conversations, getting that talky talk out of my system. And I'd like to also come to the table with some cool stuff that I may have learned throughout the week. Congratulations. First professional gig. That is incredible. And I hope the back and forth question answers that you had helped, because I know that you had a couple, and I hope that I pointed you in the right direction. That is awesome. Very, very cool. I did a lot. Okay, great. I'm so happy. But again, one of the things that I want Sunday to be, and Cora does a good example, is cool news, cool things, either in my personal life or things out in the world that I have learned that I wanted to kind of share with everyone. One of the biggest things that is going on in my life right now, as some of you may know, follow me on social medias, the ones that are more personal, but my mom had a cancer scare. It was intense there for a while right before the holidays, but after some surgery and some exploring, they figured out that she didn't have it. So yay, it's something different. It's something she's going to have to deal with and, work through and recover from, but it wasn't cancer. Yay, there was much rejoicing. But recently I've been just trying to, because she was working at a job down in Florida, so she's currently out of the state right now. I'm just trying to connect with her and make sure that if there's the ability for me to help in any way that I can. I gotta track it down because I knew I was gonna talk about stuff, but I wasn't sure exactly where I was gonna go with everything. So let me grab the link for anybody who can. We have a GoFundMe for her. That wasn't okay. What? I see what's happening. Yeah. Okay, let's get to this thing. A new login from unidentified server. Where is it? There we go. So copy. So I have the link. That didn't work. Copy. Paste. There we go. Link to the GoFundMe. Anything helps. We're just trying to recover or cover some of the recovery costs. The situation has been very stressful on my mom, especially since she's out of state and all of her kids are busy doing their life and work things that we haven't been able to get down there as often as we'd like to. So any way that we can help from afar is fantastic. So if you have the ability, thank you. If you personally don't, any form of sharing and distribution of the information would be fantastic. So I really appreciate that. But that has been something that's been going around in my brain for at least the last month or so. So I appreciate anything that people can do. And even if it's just showing up on these streams and having a conversation with me and just having a good time. So, yeah, with that, I think let's change this since we are going to be doing some software development. Change it from just chatting to that, so that way anybody looking for that sort of stuff can come find me, and then we can jump right into this fun little experience. So for those who haven't used VS Code, it's a Office product like Microsoft Office. It's great. It's free. There's some stuff that you can do to enhance the experience that you can pay for. But overall, it's just a great it's a great app to just get your code process started and just have a good time with coding, because it can sometimes be not be a great time. So one of the things that I know that we need to do right off the bat is get this installed. So yeah, if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm just double checking that I'm getting all this code right. Already screwed it up. Isn't that great? Is it not gonna, do I not need that might be it. Oh, I put too many I's. Dustin. Still wasn't right. Great. Try it without that. Oh, so it's npm install. No? Okay. Oh, is that running? Hopefully it's running. This utility will walk you through creating a package.json file. It only covers the most common items and tries to guess sensible defaults. Oh, okay. If I seen any new movies, I mean, I saw No Way Home, which was incredible. I also watched Encanto not too long ago. Now that it's on Disney Plus, I watched Eternals. Now that it's on Disney Plus, I've been very, very into um, Encanto lately. Um, just very happy with um, the story that it was trying to tell. I know uh, a lot of people, Punkin in particular, someone who's close to me, has mentioned that the ending feels a little rushed, which I kind of agree with. Um, I I emotionally, yeah, I emotionally connect with so much of that movie that even though the ending kind of feels a little bit Disney-fied, um, I still appreciate the journey and the steps along the way because there's a lot going on, and it's very uh, very cool that something like that can exist. Um, so am I doing this wrong? Is that what's happening? Oh, Kingsman. Yeah, how was that? Yeah, I haven't actually watched the first uh Kingsman movies. So King's Men and King uh the Kingsman, what was the other one? um but no, it's something that I really enjoy. Um that those sort of movies. So I don't know why I haven't. Um but I feel like I would definitely appreciate and enjoy um, those movies. Yeah, isn't it like so the King's Man is the first one, the one that's out now, like the in chronological order, and then Kingsman. There's two of them that are sequels of each other, right? Okay. Okay, install those two packets. And then what other packets am I looking for? Okay. So I need to new file, index. Ooh, I'm in the wrong window. New file, index.js. Is that it? Oh, that's what it is. There we go. Cool. Up next, we got some actual code that we get to type in. Websocket.server. Oops, should capitalize that. So I believe it's local.host 8080. I believe is the appropriate thing for this. So all I'm doing right now, for those who are curious, is getting this program ready so that way it can actually connect to oh, that was wrong. So it can connect to the server and actually start communicating with things. Okay, so I already screwed up. I hope we're happy with that. Here we go. So yeah, all this is doing is double checking that the WebSocket is connected. And then it's going to give me a message in the console, which I believe is console. Oops. The console output? Why don't I remember? Console log. Connected. So I believe that this is going to listen. So maybe this should be port. And then while this is on, we need to add in a message for when it disconnects. Yeah, so all this is going to do is tell the application when something connects or disconnects. It's just going to let me know that it did so. So this will be a great way for me to tell that players have connected, which is something that currently the software Encounter Plus doesn't do. So it'll be nice to know that people are connected. And then here in a second, we're going to run the actual software so we can see that it works. Just double checking some things. Oh, that's not clean code, Dustin. Fix yourself. Okay, I think that might be it. I think I might be ready to run this thing. Node index.js. Should be running, I believe. Yeah, now it's waiting for it. Okay, so if, in theory, I should be able to open up the application if I've done this right so far. And the web client will auto open because that's what the software does. And okay, already not working. So WebSocket required WS. So I don't think I need to create the WebSocket. I just need to listen to it. Yeah, because I don't need, I'm not creating a server. I'm just listening. So it is new. So I need Encounter Plus start now, making this actually look appropriate. So I need, instead of this format, I need WSS local dot host Is that right? I don't have any errors. Okay, I do have an error. Invalid URL. Okay, why? Why is it invalid? Did I type it wrong? Is it not need a dot? Is that the problem? It's probably the problem. Oh, I have a space. Dustin, you're smarter than this. Okay. Unhandled error event. Okay. So it got mad at me. Am I using the wrong port? Is that the problem? Because that would make sense. That I did all of this and I just got the port wrong. Maybe I should do that as my address instead. Let's still keep localhost because I do not want to have to worry about my IP address every time. Okay, it's still not. Okay. New WebSocket, that's correct. I guess that's the other option. Let's look at something. So if we're here, paste in that. What? Oh, it's mad at me. Oh no. Screwed something up. Okay, interesting, interesting. So it's not a fan. Why does it say disabled? It says enabled right there, but disabled here. Do I need to restart the software maybe? Turn it off, turn it back on again, friends. It works wonders. Web server enabled. Okay, so there it is. And cannot read properties. Interesting. Okay, cool. So now it's reading. So what did I do last time to screw it up? Maybe I don't need. No, I need to define the WebSocket. Oh wait, no, I define it right there, so I don't need it anywhere else. Oh, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate that. I like the robots. It's very appropriate for the situation. That might be good. I don't think I actually need. WebSocket is not defined. Balls. Okay. So I need to define WebSocket first. Why won't it? Maybe I did have that code right. Hello, happy Sunday, friend. How are you? Welcome in. Ooh. Gotta like it. Thank you for the hydrate. And you know what? Might as well. I'm going to caffeinate as well. It's early. Now, since my code's not really big yet, we'll scroll this up. So, from all the information I have so far, in order to communicate using the WebSocket, you need to create a WebSocket object. Okay, that's what I thought I did. I haven't been to Cross Street Coffee in a very long time. Not since it was what was it called? The Ugly Mug. That was the last time I went there, which was 10 years ago, maybe more. It's been a minute. If an example. Pardon me. I'm wondering if I'm just not. I'm not defining the WebSocket right. Maybe that. Is it running now? Did I do it? Oh, that would be bad. Is this server not secure? Is that the problem? Counter plus. Okay, so I think I'm connected, right? So if I want to unknown normal interactions false, device null, WebSocket disconnected, WebSocket connected. Oh, that's not what I need. So it's client updated, not client on. Sending data to the server. Let's try this. Before I do any of this, which is it hashtags? No. Won't let me, will it? Great. Okay, cool. Before it does anything, send message, save, close the app, run the app. Failed already. throw new arrow. WebSocket is not open. Ready state 0 connecting. Okay. It won't connect to the WebSocket. That's the problem. Well, it's the current problem. Ah, thank you for the caffeinate. It's different owners recently. I think within the last year or so. And then before that is when I used to go there. But it also wasn't the best place back then either, in regards to culture of management. Connect to WebSocket. I think kind of, sort of. To open a WebSocket connection, you need to create. Okay, maybe it doesn't need to be a constant. Let encounter plus equal new WebSocket equals WS localhost. There's also, okay. So is it not on? Is it open? Is that what this is? And I'm just a big dum-dum? Okay, still throwing an error. WebSocket is not opened. Yeah, that makes sense. Is it secure and I'm just being facetious? Okay, it's not secure. Good to know. Good to know. WebSocket is not open. So, oh, I can't send a message until it's open. Oops. Oops. Unopen. That's a 0. That's not an N. Unopen. Let's try this. Because I like how this code looks better than mine. So this should be encounter plus instead of socket. Okay, through new errors. Still throwing errors. Okay. Alert is not defined. Why isn't it defined? Should I just not use the alert? Okay. So I think the problem that I'm running into now for those who are watching along, is that this function alert isn't actually defined anywhere. So why won't this work? So it's socket on open function E, which is this. It runs this. My name is John. Interesting. But is this still working? It is, okay. So on open, function E, open connection established. Alert sending to server, encounter plus dot send. My name is John. Encounter plus on message, function event. Where is alert defined? Why do all of these frickin' examples not give you the whole code? They just give you the stuff that goes in the middle. It's bullcrap. Should this be then console.log? I have no problem copying and pasting this everywhere if it means the software works. WebSocket's not defined, so we have to define WebSocket const. What was it before? Why am I forgetting? Const WebSocket equals require WS. Oops. Save. Close app. Close app. Run. Holy crap. Is that all I needed to do? Okay, it didn't actually send the message. But it did connect, right? But this is a different thing, so it wouldn't even show here. So it created the connection and on message, but data received from server event.data. Okay, so I'm closer. So if I update, oh, okay. Data received from server, which is all the information I need. Event.data. Okay, great. So now I need to parse out that data so I can actually grab the information I need from the server. Does it work in both directions? That is a good question, Dustin. So now that this is established, let's do a dice roll. Yes. Okay, cool. So DM and players can send this information to me. That is incredible. Now I need to parse out that information so I can actually grab what I need from it. Opening a web. Okay, I already opened a WebSocket. Ha ha ha. I know what I'm doing. I don't. This is all new to me. I'm having fun. Okay. The volcano? Did a volcano blow up? Oh, wait, I did hear about that. I saw it on Reddit, I think. I didn't read into it too much because everything going on yesterday, getting my stream up and running. Yeah, and I saw the what's it called? It was like a view from space. Yeah, that exactly. Absolutely legit. Terrifying, but legit. That's insane. But it's okay. The world's not trying to kill us or anything. Maybe we're the pandemic. Okay, so I need to be able to grab this information to utilize it better. I need to find... Yeah, exactly. Because I remember when lockdown first started, they started talking about how certain animals had returned to waterways and streets and parks and all of these things that they just never were at anymore. And they've come back and everyone was just like, wait a second. If humans don't interact outside and do normal human things, the world's better. Oh no. So it was one of those things that when you stop and think about it, you're just like, oh no, that's not good news. Okay, so I got that information. Now I just need, because this connects to the server regardless. Like no other client needs to be open. So me doing this was just to get the information so that way it was visible everywhere. I need to see that movie. One, because people said that for some reason Leonardo DiCaprio's got my look. Whatever. I've never been compared to Leonardo DiCaprio before, so I will take it. But everyone has told me how awesome that movie is. So I think I should probably check that out. Okay. So I need to get dice information from this, because right now I'm getting event.data. This is the beard and the glasses. That's it. Okay, great. So maybe it's event.data. Let's see how this is parsed out. Event.data. So it gives me So should it be event.data.content.result? Let's see. So event.data.content.result. Close, reopen, connected, sending to server. Don't Look Up is a really good movie. However, it's sad and existential doom. Yes, that is what I've heard. It's not good at all. However, with all the intelligence we have as a species, we should have figured out and implemented a way to offset all the bad we have done. If we're being completely honest, we know what to do, but there's a lot of institutions systematically either talking shit about those systems or not allowing them to get put in place. If we just stopped and turned around and just changed the way that we get our energy in general, we would be better off. Yes, certain individuals who went to massive amounts eat the rich, exactly. And I'm hungry. Massive amounts of individuals who currently work at oil rigs and refineries and coal mines and all of these people, that the first thing that gets turned around is just like, well, what are they going to do? Like, if we stop doing fossil fuels, what are they going to do? And my response is, well, what did we do when, like, CDs stopped getting manufactured? What did we do when DVDs or flip phones, old flip phones, not current new ones, all of these things just stopped? We moved past it, and those who wanted to keep working in the field adjusted either with training or retired. That they got up to a point where they could continue to adapt along with the industry. And if you can't do that, I'm sorry. Like, that really sucks. But if the industry and the world requires us to make an adjustment, it's our job to follow suit so that way we don't ruin the rest of the world. Get off my soapbox. Oh, look, I'm coding and streaming. So if I get all this information, in theory, I should be able to do a dice roll now. And it'll give me just the dice, like the end result of that dice roll. It won't give me any other information. It didn't like that. Okay. Cannot read property result of undefined. So it was the result, not the actual. No, it's the message. Oh, wait. Maybe it's not. Interesting. Yes, which is kind of the same similar situation. Again, I don't have a vagina, so I barely have an opinion, if at all. But it's the same sort of situation when it comes to reproductive rights and a lot of other things, is that there are a lot of people that are just like, well, I don't have to deal with it, so why should I care? And why should we let the world just be allowed to do this thing that doesn't matter to me? It doesn't, I won't ever see the results. It doesn't affect me, so why is it such a big deal? And it's just, no, that's not how the world works. If you're making these results or making these decisions based on things that don't affect you, then isn't that the whole reason you shouldn't be making those decisions? Or, correction, listening to those that do. That if somebody comes up and says, this massive thing is affecting me, we need to do something about it so that way other people can't tell me it's not affecting me. Like that's the biggest thing, is that there's politicians, there's people in power, there's other individuals that are looking at these situations and not looking at as, how does this affect those directly that are the subject of this situation. They're looking at as, well, one, who fills their pockets most, but more in particular is their sense of beliefs of how big of a problem it is to them, instead of listening to the people who it truly affects. And that's just bullshit. See, I as a society, yes. As an individual, no. Um, I I personally have always been the sort of person. See, this is what I love about my Sunday streams. I've always been the sort of person that I don't understand your struggles. I may be able to relate, but at the end of the day, they're not mine. So if someone comes to me and says this is an issue, yeah, yeah. If someone comes to me and says this is an issue, um, I'm going to hear them out. Now, there may come a point where I realize that it's not an issue for me, or it's something I can't do, like I can't affect in any way. There's nothing that I can, and so I'm just a receptor. I just take in the information so that way they can let somebody know. But at the end of the day, there's so much in this world that doesn't affect me, and there's so much in this world that I don't truly understand, that I am more than willing to sit down and listen to become more well-rounded and better prepared for certain situations. Because, I mean, something that I'm very happy about when it comes to the place that I currently work is that we are very, very open and inclusive when it comes to sexual orientations, gender, race, ethnicity. We're accepting of all, as long as it's a two-way street. If we sense that there's an element of hostility or negativity towards somebody because of these things that we strive to be inclusive for, we try to have a conversation. We try to make an adjustment if we possibly can, because it is an educational institution. So if someone wants information and wants this education, we're, kind of in a spot where we have to give it to them. So we try to adjust accordingly, so that way people can feel more comfortable. But something that, from when I was in high school, growing up in a very small farm town, to now living in a metropolitan type area with a major state university, I had to make some adjustments, not only to my language, but to my fundamental core understanding of who people are. Because I got a very, like, let's put it in D&D terms. My hometown, the facets of life that existed could all fit on the sides of a D4. There wasn't many variations of who people could be. And once it started to get to a D6 when I was in high school, where we started adding in these things that, I personally wasn't going through or could associate with, LGBTQ plus, and certain spectrums of cognitive normality and things like that. Yeah, tiny little bias that I'm still trying to unlearn. I'm 32 and I'm still trying to do that every day. But yeah, trying to adjust those things once that die had to expand to accommodate more. Now I realize that we're at neurodiversity. Thank you. See, adjusting my language as best as I can to make sure that I, you know, and it's not even being offensive, it's being respectful. Because there's a lot of situations where using the wrong term can cause an entire situation or conversation to fail or to falter. Not necessarily fail, but have some roadblocks. One of the ones that's getting me recently, and I'm saying this as an example, I'm not saying it as who I am. But some individuals are saying, oh, we need to have a powwow on this. And my first response is, we need to have a conversation on this, because that's not appropriate. It's taking a something that is very important to the Native American and indigenous people and turning it into just a slang term, and it's not appropriate. So there's been a couple people, those I work with, those that work underneath me, students and individuals, who say that phrase, and I just say, we need to have a conversation. I don't scold them. I just replace the word in the conversation, so that way, the conversation we're having, so that way the conversations down the road aren't affected by that, to the best of my ability, because I can't change anyone. But yeah, wow, we're getting real deep on all this, aren't we? This is sweet. um cool. So maybe I can do detail instead. Is the issue that it's not in brackets? So maybe it's content, format, dice, rolls? I'm not sure. Man, see, honestly, some of the most interesting situations I've ever been involved in some capacity. My grandmother had was getting more and more in touch before she passed away with her Native American roots, trying to find what tribe she belonged to and stuff like that, because her family always told her that she had that lineage, but she never knew anything about it, because the household she grew up in was very Catholic, so they kind of snuffed that as much as possible, because it wasn't the English kind of purview. So she went and explored that, and there were a lot of events that we went to, so that way she could better connect. Yeah. Again, like in indigenous and Native American events and conventions and all of these things that happen. My personal opinion is that you can always connect better with someone if you are put in a situation that is fully in their control. That if they, like, it's why some religious institutions I vehemently do not ascribe to, because I have gone to one of their sermons, I've gone to one of their masses, and I've gone, that's not for me. But it was fully your situation. You were in control of how it was going to go and how it was presented. It was presented and shown to me, and I don't ascribe to it. I'm going to take a step back. You do what you're going to do, because I'm not here to tell you you're doing something wrong because of your beliefs or your feelings or your deeply heartfelt opinions on things, until it negatively affects others. Then we'll have a conversation. But just straight up, like, who you believe in and what's your spirituality, that's you. That's a personal thing. But going to those events and being a part of those situations was the quickest way for me to understand, one, how different it is from mine, but two, if it's something at its core a little beautiful, a little bit Like, not just a thing that's in the distance that we look at from afar, something that you can be involved in and really understand. So this is a good Sunday chat. Yeah, it's that same phrase of walk a mile in someone's shoes. I think what it what it really boils down to is just you don't necessarily have to experience it first person, but you definitely need to look at the situation in a way that it's just like, here's their life, and warts and all, raw, bare bones. Here it is. I think she's sleeping. I'm going to give that back to you for one reason and one reason only, as I do not want to wake up Pumpkin right now. She had a long night, and I don't want her to wake up. And have to worry about that. So I've given you the points back. You can utilize it maybe on one of the afternoon streams. But these morning streams, it's a lot harder for me to do that. And I totally forgot to turn off that reward for this morning. So thanks for the reminder, I guess. Okay, so no, I appreciate how much you use the interactive tools in my stream, Cora. It's a big help. Okay. Okay, so cannot read property result of undefined. So it needs to be a it really is. Like, I am more than willing to have a conversation about religion. I mean, I have them with some of my coworkers, the students that work with me, on a regular basis, because there's parts of it that I couldn't truly connect to. Those individuals of the Latina, Latinx community, as well as those who are spiritual or religious and a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and how they make those things work, because there's certain public loud voices that look at these spiritual and religious institutions as very, very specific, very, very white. And when individuals that don't ascribe to that ideal make it work, my first reaction is, how? Because that's fascinating to me, and I want to understand that better, because my growing up as Irish Catholic, I know, I'm sorry, been recovering for years, had a very, Lauren, hi! I love you. I love you very much. I miss you. We need to get into Chanland again soon. Exactly. They're just like, we got plenty of diversity. We had an African-American president. It's like, that's... What? We shouldn't be celebrating that stuff. It should be the norm. And I know we got time before that can happen, but like the fact that someone's just like, oh, we checked that box, that means we're done with that. It's like, no. It's not how this works. Thank you, Cora. Sunday streams. It's the straight dope with Dustin. Hydrate. Oh, the coffee does wonders. Doing something that's actually just to hydrate me, super nice. See, I got the best viewers. Thank you, friends. I was doing nerdy shit, and we got all talky. I'm super happy about it, but any more deepness. Exactly. I mean, I'm not even sure. Was this talking about the volcano? It was. This all started from the volcano. Thank you for that conversation starter. Liquid IV? What the hell is this? Let's check. Let's go on another sidebar. No, it's perfectly fine. Prime rib minister for 6 months. One of her claims was she did it to show that women could do it, but I feel like her stepping down after 6 months kind of had the opposite effect. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like, yes, this is an amazing step in the right direction, and because someone did it as a statement and not an actual movement towards change, it kind of loses the effect. Like, in some ways you have to start over after that person leaves, unfortunately. I know that there was somebody, another country where a woman took over. I think it was the first woman millennial president or person of power, took over and dropped out, like resigned, like the same day because of XYZ. I don't know the whole story, but it's one of those things that when that happens, the people with the loudest voices, the people with the microphones and lights shoved in their face, can turn around and say really negative things because it was about their gender or their age or ability. And there's a lot of people with the headphones, the earbuds jammed into their heads, and the not to get too political, but the red baseball hats tightly around, so that way they can't hear anything else. Look at those situations and interpret it in such a way that sets us back even further. And it's just so unfortunate. Yeah, exactly. Well, and like we got so happy about Kamala Harris, respectably so. Like, not only is it a woman vice president, but someone of Asian descent, someone of African descent, a individual who is like that definition of, as we mentioned before, someone that encompasses what the ideal of the U.S. is, of just coming together. And this amazing individual has a jaded past, has some things going on that, we're all allowed to not like a person, but what they stand for and what their position can give, and all people do is shit on her. Yes. And all people do is shit on her and tell her that she's not doing enough and all this other stuff. And it's like, what did all the other previous vice presidents do? The last time that we really talked about a vice president doing some stuff was Dick Cheney, and he was destroying America. So taking a back seat and doing managerial and logistics things, not out in the public eye, I'm okay with a vice president that does that. Current prime minister, yes, he did, as well as convicted of corruption and picking businesses to favor personally motivated companies. Forgot what the technical term was for that. Bribery. And he got reelected twice. Yes. I think it has a lot to do with his gender, his race, and how deep he allows individuals to get into his pockets. He has made some positive changes, I will say that, but I think that's an individual who's willing to walk on the line instead of firmly plant his feet on one side or the other. I was excited for Obama because it was 4th grade. Now everyone is like, why did you change your mind? Because I'm an adult. Yep, exactly. Man, being in high school when the Obama, like Bush, what was it? The Bush Kerry election. Um, that was absolutely insane because that was all the talk. And then Obama got elected while I was in college, my second year here. And again, Obama talking about Trudeau. It's that same sort of situation where like there's a lot of good things that they did and things that what they're doing stand for is inspiring, but there's a lot of things that occurred that's just like he wasn't the best. But again, we don't learn that in retrospect. We get a little bit of rose-colored glasses, but we try to do they try to do their best, and we try to support the good parts. Because if we're stuck with them and they're not doing anything detrimental, we tend to kind of turn a blind eye for some of that stuff while it's happening. I mean, he stole land from the First Nations to just be able to build a pipeline that Biden stopped. Yeah. See, and back then, man. Bye. Thank you for stopping by, Lauren. I hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you for the caffeinate, hydrate for all of you. I really appreciate that. Best days, good days, better days. Stay happy and stay healthy as best as you can. Bye, friend. Okay, so this liquid IV stuff, what is it? I know y'all kind of described it already, but oh, so it's caffeinated Crystal Light. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. I saw one of the first links when I searched for it was buy on Amazon. So you never know. Maybe I'll pick that up. Oh, liquid IV isn't caffeinated. Oh, it's okay. So it is. It's more along the lines of than a Crystal Light, like Powerade, Electrolyte, Crystal Light, that sort of thing. Okay. I say Power Light. I meant Powerade. Oops. Okay. So the information we're actually looking for is, let's expand this a little bit better. I don't really need the console right now, but I do need these messages. It's Pedialyte. Pedialyte did wonders for me when I was in college. So data content detail. Let's try that. Data content detail, because then if it's just a formatting issue, we might be able to solve that with a conversion to take the information that we're sending, grabbing it, converting it to something, then putting it in the log. A 9. Okay. It can't read that message because it's buried in the... So is the problem that I'm not looking for event data? I'm looking for event... Like, is the problem that I'm burying myself too far? That I just need to do event.detail and it'll find it for me? Is that the... See, I haven't really dealt with WebSockets too much, so this is a whole new thing for me. And a 16. Data received from server undefined. Okay. So it's undefined, which means it's probably information that it can't understand. So, because all this information is in that quotes. So maybe I need to do format, which is something that's laid out the same way that the other messages are. Okay, that didn't do anything. So I didn't receive anything that time. Let's change this back to data. Close out of the console. Run it again. Roll a dice. Let's just make sure I'm still getting the messages and I didn't screw anything up. Okay, still getting the messages. So I wonder, what if that's it? What if it's event data and then I have to parse it out the way it shows here? So where does ID close? All the way down here. Okay, so data, so it's event.data, content detail. Let's try that. Content dot detail. Maybe? Or is it mad at me for using... What's the error? Just tell me why it's wrong. Expected blah. Oh, it is that the problem? I used the wrong type of brackets. Probably, because that happens a lot. I swear I know how to code. Okay. Content not defined. That's not right. Okay. Hey, Clever Princess. Welcome in, friends. How are you? Welcome to the Chan fam. We're just coding. Doing what we can. Seeing what information we can get from this server. Your stream title is worthy of admiration and worship, fellow adventurer of code. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to do, and for those of you who actually follow me, you'll see it in your going live messages from the Twitch app. I try to be clever with those for people who understand my inside jokes. So my go live message for today was actually, let me jump over here. Coffee code cat friend ? Because normally my cat Chandler would be joining me on the chair next to me while I code and stuff. Chandler's kind of a celebrity here. But my, as you saw, the title is just something so that way people understand my humor. Dungeons and Dragons and Websockets, oh my. I think that's me. One, it's a Dungeons and Dragons reference. Two, it's a coding reference. And then finally, my favorite part is that is a Wizard of Oz reference, which being a theater kid, a musical kid, kind of encompasses a lot of me in one title. So I appreciate that very much, and I'll try to keep impressing you. Well, welcome to the Chan fam. Okay, so yeah, let's get this figured out, because We do. We really do. There's a whole Theater Kid frickin' Twitch family. Like the Southeast Michigan Theater Kid streamer gang. Like we straight chaos, musical numbers. Excellent. I definitely more of a backstage guy, but I performed in a couple shows. I was Soft Bear in a production of The Snow Queen. And then I played Eddie in Rocky Horror Show. And I've done a couple like smaller pieces here and there for small projects, but those are my big roles, the ones that I like to talk about. So let's double check this is still working. Okay, still receiving that message. Now, how do I parse out the messages? Let's figure that out. We do. We really do. Sound design and projections design are kind of my thing. I'm currently a technical director at a state university, so I have to know as much as possible. But read message data WebSocket JavaScript. Maybe look at the frickin' API, Dustin. Okay, so it looks like listen for messages. Message, function, event, console log, message from server, event.data. Okay. So maybe I need read event data parts. I do not, but I've used them before. I got a couple family members who are big Roku people. I'm an Apple TV person because I have bought into the Apple cult. See, databases. I have a bone to pick with databases. Like you'll see I'm writing a very simple JavaScript thing. Like all I'm doing is listening for specific messages so that way I can then send specific messages out. Eventually this will be something that sends out OSC messages to other applications, like QLab, Encounter Plus, which is one that I want to talk to, and then Lumia streams, so that way I can have certain dice rolls on this app that I use trigger this thing to be specific colors. I'm sorry. I've bought into it. I got Mac Mini that runs this stream. I got a MacBook that I'm coding on right now. I got an iPhone. I got an Apple TV. I got a HomePod. I got an Apple Watch. I bought into it, and I know, but I know we just got done with all this soapbox conversation about things, and I do have an iPad Mini. It's sitting right there. So yeah, it's a whole thing. You know what? All I gotta say is Google is a worse company. Have a good day. Cool. So that is true. That's the biggest thing. Like when it comes to the Google infrastructure, their software is so disconnected. I'm so upset that Google software isn't more integrated with each other, because the fact that I can't create a Google Keep document from a calendar or from Gmail that I can't create that without adding the little tab on the side, which is basically just an applet. The fact that I have to open up the software to go and do stuff, but if I'm in an Apple based software, I can just literally ask Siri to remind me about something or to take note on something, and she'll just look at the screen of what I'm looking at and create the thing that I asked. Like it's the yeah. But individually, Google Apps, they rock my world. They make productivity really, really nice, especially when it comes to like running my shop. We got a lot of Google integrated things that really fit together when it comes to the way that we run our shop. Um, yeah, that's the other thing. Um, so maybe instead of how to get specific data from WebSocket message. For those of you who don't know, half of coding is Googling. Yeah, that is true. But again, at the end of the day, on a, on a Windows machine, you can build Windows apps really well. And you can do some things to build Linux apps very well on a Windows machine. But at the end of the day, I can build a Windows machine on my Apple device. I can just do that. Um, Half of any job is Googling. When are we going to realize that we are a hive mind and we didn't realize it before? um, but no, I can build anything for a Windows machine on an Apple device. It's the other way around that seems to be the issue. And it's just because Apple's the sort of institution that's just like, we understand that we're not the most popular for this institution or uh, this field of work, but we're going to allow you to touch it and interact with it as much as you want. So you don't use Windows either? Are you a Linux person? Man, I need to get a Linux machine. Very nice. Yeah, Linux was something in college in particular when I thought I was going to be a computer science major. Linux was one of those operating systems that after I used it, I was like, this is everything. This is how my brain works. I was just like, this is incredible. The fact that I can customize this and adjust this and build something out of nothing just with the operating system, just with the operating system. Um, yeah. No, yeah, computer science, it's what I wanted to do when I got to school. My first year I spent at the College of Business, and I was taking an information systems uh, security class. I was getting all that nitty gritty. I was relearning how a network packet works and all that great stuff because that's how college works. You have to learn those basics, even though if you might already know it. Um, but then I took Intro to Theater, and someone told me how how the tech side of the industry works, and I was like, wait a second, what? That sounds awesome. Yeah, exactly. With Linux, I could do that. And it's a conversation I actually had on my Discord, which, by the way, those who are not a member, definitely check that out. Um, uh, Something that we've been having a conversation on Discord about creating a Minecraft server. We already have one that's hosted on a web cloud server, one that I pay monthly for. And I'd love to just have a tiny little Linux box that I could tuck in the corner. One, so I can do Linux stuff. But two, so I can host a Minecraft server there because it can just run in the background. I can connect to it when I need to, and it would just be a great little Linux box. Definitely thinking about getting back into that whole process. I think that would be amazing. Um, So do I need to define the variables? Is that what it is? Home lab. So I think um I'm not in the corner. You're right. I'm sorry. You can drop those RGB Dustins or RG Beard, I think is what that emote's called. You can drop those all day. I will try to fit in it. I didn't realize that's what you were doing, but um yeah, like, and I also want to get the because I'm deep into the Apple atmosphere, nethersphere, whatever you want to call it, the world of Apple. There's a couple like Apple hack stuff that I would really love to do, especially with HomeKit. But have not done that yet. But yeah, I am always on the precipice of doing something that's going to take up way too much time and have very little results, but a ton of fun getting there. Sat next to a 24U rack, be warned, there's no going back. A cult, an army. Yeah, yeah. The Apple cult. See, that is how I am at work, though. There's a lot of really nerdy stuff that I do at work on a regular basis that if I decided to bring it home, well, my office would be full. But I have not done that yet. Maybe one day. So yeah, okay. I need to parse out this. Why am I not getting this? Get message from WebSocket and serve it to a client. Okay. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So it looks like as soon as right to repair happens, oh my God. I mean, I understand from a company standpoint why they don't like it, but from a consumer standpoint, fuck them. Yeah, and see, I would love to have my own server that has a tiny apps and little code clusters that could do these things for me. Because at the end of the day, I have a lot of really smart people in my repertoire. Megan Wilson, someone who they do incredible work. They work for a startup doing some coding. uh yeah, no, see, and I deal with that fact, and then I had an instance, what was it? October, something like that, where my phone stopped working, and I had an iPhone 11, brand new. It was only a year old, only a year old. And I was told that the issues were not software related. And if it was hardware related, I might as well get a new one. I was like, that's not okay. I should be able to take this to a repair shop or buy the parts and repair it myself. That's bullshit. I ended up having to get a brand new phone. That was the only option I had when I looked at everything. If I didn't want to void warranties and all that great stuff. Um, it was absolute bullcrap, and I really wish that I didn't have to do with that. But again, when it comes to having that hosted server, I think I might start small with a tiny little Linux box. Nothing insane going on in it. Just run the latest version. Or maybe I'll go old school and do an Ubuntu throwback to when I started and maybe upgrade from there so I can make sure I didn't forget anything. But yeah, I'm curious where I can go from that sort of stuff without getting way too deep in it. But yeah, okay. So incoming data, console log data. Okay, so that's just turning it around. I need the specific points of the data. Louis Rossman, can't say I have, no. And again, that's not a huge deal. The only time that I'm like a little stingy about that stuff if someone's just like, "Oh, you should totally raid to my friend." Or if everyone in chat could follow so and so, that would be great. If we're just talking about content creators, I love supporting other people. It's incredible to be able to like support other uh creatives. So I have no issue with that. It's just the people who shamelessly plug and then try to uh like follow, not follow raid, but like try to be like, "Oh, everyone should go do this." And it's like, "Nah, let's just talk about how cool they are, and if people come to the conclusion that they want to go follow or enjoy that person on their platform of choice, by all means, they can go do that themselves, but I don't want it to be a huge follow for follow sort of situation." So, but yeah, I have not heard of them. Never got an Apple product until I went to college. The second time, I got a MacBook Pro and it started to malfunction. They said the error was user created and void my warranty. It would cost $1,800 to fix. Prices in Canada are different. New was $3,600. Holy crap! That's So I waited until my warranty was out and I had an old MacBook Pro and I took that thing apart down to its bits and pieces. And the reason I did it is because there were some issues I was having with the keyboard where it would stop working. And again, the repair for the keyboard was way too much. So I went in there and I figured out that one of the connections just wasn't holding tight anymore because the case that it was in, um, just the adhesives and everything that were keeping pressure on certain stuff just died. And I ended up putting a electrical tape wrapped penny underneath my keyboard to keep the connection pressured. And that thing lasted me another 5 years before it finally decided, we've had enough. Yeah, I don't think they do that as much anymore, but they definitely got in trouble for it in the past. It was really unfortunate that that sort of thing happened. Actually, friends, I sure did. I'm going to step away for a second. Thank you for all the hydrates and caffeinates, but it has definitely filled up my bladder. So I will be back momentarily. Enjoy these lo-fi beats, and I will be back before you know it. Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed that nice little lo-fi break. I'm glad that I found this like Twitch safe lo-fi channel. So that way I don't get my stream pulled, which probably would never happen, but yeah, thank you for the welcome back. Yeah, Clever Princess. This was the first, I guess the second if you count the MacBook. But the thing with my phone was the first time that I was just like, if your policies were different, I'd have a phone right now. But no. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can at least parse out this information. Because if we could do that, then I think we're in a good spot. Okay. I kind of understand this code that I see. You like the Halo? I only added it a couple, what is it, like 2 weeks ago now? It used to be just the D20, but now we got the whole Halo around it. Hey, thank you for the biddies, friend. Oh, I also just realized that my little alerts thing aren't going off for that. That's weird. Not sure why, but not a huge deal. But yeah, yeah, they're just not playing in my ears. I think it's something on my end that I just need to look into a little bit further. So yeah, from what I can tell, that I might need to import all of the header data, so that way my application can understand that data. I know I did this last time and I thought I fixed it. So how to get data parts. That's the wrong spelling of the word parts. Did everybody know that parts now has 2 A's? I didn't. Data in both directions. This might be what I'm looking for. Do I just need to decode? Is that what it is? You know, there is an application that I follow on GitHub, which, by the way, you can use !git in the chat if you're looking for that information. But there is a application that I starred that does something similar to what I'm looking for right now. It grabs the data for dice rolls. Used to have an old iMac with a slot drive, brand new. After about a week, it stopped working. So I wanted them to fix it. They took it in for repair, said they would repair it, and then returned it unrepaired due to a crack in the screen. They said they can only do the repair if I pay for a new glass screen because apparently removing it would break it. Here's the kicker. I know for a fact it wasn't broken when I gave it to them. So you can imagine I was upset. Great. Oh, you're making pins. That's awesome. Years ago, yeah. See, that's the thing about that sort of stuff is that there's some individuals that are a little bit less experienced. They get hired at Apple when it comes to those basic repairs. And if they realize, hey, for us to do this, we have to break the device and you have to pay for it. That's why right to repair is a thing, or should be a thing, is that it's like, so for you to fix it, you have to break it and make me pay for it. That's a problem with your device, not my use of that device. And it shouldn't be a problem of my wallet. How dare you? I said good day. So it does look like this JavaScript app that I'm kind of basically, they made this app and then I went, you know what? I could make something that talks to something else, because this one just talks between Encounter Plus and D&D Beyond. I want to take the Encounter Plus data and turn it into OSC data so that way I can change the color of this with a dice roll in a virtual tabletop. That's my hope. So let's see if I can get the roll data. That kind of looks like it might be it. A roll table. Yeah, I'm just legitimately going through its the code to see how. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. That is forced friendship. And I'm so happy that you picked me. Holy crap. That makes me so happy. Thank you so much, Clever Princess. You only get one of those Prime subs, and thank you so much for it being me. I hope that the next month is enjoyable for you. We don't always do the coding stuff, but Sunday mornings is when I try to do these sort of things. A lot of the other times we're playing Minecraft or Witcher or various other fun Nintendo and vintage type of games. And then some new modern ones. So been debating starting Skyrim. We'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for that Prime sub. I appreciate it. Aw, my heart. Thank you. Now you get to use all the cool emotes. Go nuts. I mean, you can get the Switch Lite, which isn't really a Switch at the end of the day. Like the fact that they call it a Switch doesn't make sense because it can't switch between TV and handheld mode. It's just handheld mode. Anyway, I'm not bitter. It's just a PSP. It's a PSP with better games. Because let's be honest, the PlayStation Portable was not a PlayStation Portable. It was PlayStation, like, it was PlayStation-esque because almost all the games that came out on PSP were dumbed down versions. It was the Game Boy, the PlayStation Game Boy. Like that's what it was. It was, yeah. The stationery is not as catchy. Emotes. It was years ahead of its time. Years. I just missed Crisis Core from PSP. Crisis. Oh, that was a game I used to play back in the day. Good times. I might have to do more research on this, friends. Not to piece y'all out. Wait. Wait a minute. I found it. I think I found it, friends. Oh, no! Dustin! So go to the first instance of the word roll to see where it's defined. Where does it define roll? It doesn't. Dino Crisis. Goats, I feel like we were best friends separated by borders. Dino Crisis, I actually downloaded it for my my emulator. I have a PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo emulator app that I use, and I downloaded Dino Crisis because I used to play that all the time when I was a kid. It doesn't look like roll is actually defined anywhere. It just starts getting used. Source type content, formula result detail. Unless it's defined right here. Is that what's happening? Let roll JSON equal okay. If check save attack damage heal includes roll.roll type. Interesting. Okay, I am gonna have to do a little bit more research. Oh, Spyro. Spyro is something that I've played on stream a couple times. It's a favorite of Pumpkin and myself. Childhood's Final, yeah. Crash Bandicoot as well. I just bought those bizarre games back in the day. It was basically Resident Evil meets dinosaurs. Yep, that is exactly what it is, and it was incredible. And it was PlayStation 1 graphics, so you know it was terrible. But yeah, okay, friends. I think I'm gonna do the honors of pushing this out to GitHub. So that way anybody who wants to play around with it can. And eventually I gotta parse it out to what you call it, to my Discord, so that way I can oh yeah, I have to create one. But yeah, I have to put it in my Discord so that way alerts show up so people can see when I'm editing things. So reveal in Finder. Okay, cool. It does exist. They do exist. Publish repository. Small JS app to convert encounter plus dice rolls into OSC messages. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, that is now posted, right? Let's double check. Let's double check, shall we? Oh, I don't really need the developer tools open anymore. It does look like it updated. Look at that. Updated JavaScript, listener, get attributes. Eventually I'll add a README. Awesome. Small JS app to convert Encounter Plus dice rolls into OSC messages. Awesome. Cool. So it's posted to my Git. Get out of here. Totally get that. Join when you can. We got a lot of fun, cool, interesting people over there on the Discord, so we'd love to have you. But again, solo.2/dustryd. That is the quickest way to get to any of my links. But with that, friends, I do think it might be time for me to head out of here. I am very happy of the conversations that we've had today. A lot of deep introspective ones, a lot of funny, weird ones, but also just a lot of nerdy stuff, which is why I like these Sundays. Yeah, sloth, my favorite animal. You too, goats, you too. Yeah, this is Stitch. If you are a tier 2 or tier 3 subscriber, you get the Stitch emote. We also have the Cedar Point sloth up here. I think there's at least one more sloth up here somewhere. But yeah, sloths are life. But then all my nerdy D&D and Disney and Watchmen and all that great stuff is up there. I got a Supernatural box, like a light box that a good friend of mine purchased for me for a gift, and then all my D&D books up there. Zootropolis. Yes. Dash. Cool. So I will be back Monday afternoon. Check the Discord, check the stream schedule. But I will be back on Monday for some Minecraft. We're going to be doing some cool stuff, so definitely check that out. We'll be logged into Chanland with the SMP folks. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Design and conquer, my friends, and I will see you at the next one. Have a great rest of your Sunday and a great rest of your evening. Good afternoon now, and also goodbye.